Okay. All right. Round of applause. Mandai artist. Okay, I would like to invite up the directors, Ashwin Chowdhury, Jonathan Korn, and the subject of the film, Justin Wallington. And from the first film, Soul Lines, do we have the director here from the short? No, I don't believe we do. Okay.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, I'm Eddie.
This to you.
So, everybody, I don't know if you can hear me okay. I want to give another round of applause for these guys. Amazing project. Amazing. So, I want to hear from the filmmakers, how this all came about, this amazing documentary. I was telling him it was amazing. So, whoever wants to start.
Yeah, we actually were working on another project, and the subject of that story told us that there's this artist out of Philly that we had to just do a story about, and we looked him up on Instagram, and sure enough, like, his artwork was amazing, his life story was all there in his posts, and it was just begging to be brought to life visually. And we hit up Justin, and it took a couple months. He got back to us eventually. We set up that first interview. Got it right in before the pandemic hit. I'm happy we got it in at that time. Otherwise, who knows what would have happened? And it was just so amazing. We just stuck with them for 2 years, and here we are.
Do you have something? So, what did you guys? Oh, go ahead, please. Oh no, I was just gonna say, what did you guys find? Because I want to hear how you guys all collaborated. So he's one side of it. Did you have something else to add to it?
Yeah, it was something that we weren't planning on. Once after our first shoot with Justin, it was something we saw the pandemic was starting to happen, and we realized that the story was we were just at the kind of getting to the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. So. We just kept filming throughout the next 2 years, and over the last year or so, we started to get it in post-production and get it to where it was today. But there was actually a scene we filmed just a couple weeks ago that we were excited to include in the film, and I think we're all feeling like it's more final now than where it was a couple months ago.
Awesome. I want to hear from Justin. What was it like for you to meet these filmmakers? What was it like for you, the process?
The process was pretty interesting at first. I wasn't even aware of anything about documentaries, anything like that. But when it came to me, they asked me, it was supposed to be like Ashwin came and said, we want to do a little small interview, 10-minute interview on your story or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, like, 10 minutes? All right, I guess he went to crash course. So we met up, and the first day of interview, I remember, we was there for hours. And at that point, I believe we started to kind of realize that it was more to the story than we originally thought, and just with I always plan on just keep going, just paint. I don't win and then stop. I kind of try to keep doing stuff in a sense. So everything happened unexpectedly. It was just a snowball effect. And I guess with me, I believe I was really dedicated to everything I was doing. And then to see that couple with these guys that was matched it and above and beyond, just I just felt like it was just the best thing that could have happened to everybody. You know what I mean? Just to be around people that really cared about what they doing and not just. So it was the whole journey, even up until today, has just been amazing. I'm grateful.
Awesome. It was awesome. Real quick, I wanted to ask the challenges for the filmmakers and obviously for Justin. So whoever wants to go first.
I'll start with just the first challenge was the first day we filmed with him was basically the day everything shut down. But it also ended up being just one of the opportunities in the film that a lot of things were going quiet, but we were able to kind of focus in on just telling this story to the best of our ability is what really was our focus for really the last 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean, we kind of went into this knowing Justin's backstory. I mean, it's inspiring, and what he's gone through to just make it to where he was in 2020 was inspiring enough. But we weren't prepared for what would happen next with the pandemic and what happened with George Floyd and like 2020 in general. And then Justin selling his painting to Glenn Furman and getting it into the Hamptons and everything that happened from that point on, it was just completely unexpected. And that's kind of the beauty of documentary filmmaking. Like you go in, with a story in mind, but then like you don't get to write the story. So like that part of it was just like, that was the joy for us to like be along for the ride. And yeah, I just gotta say, Steve, our cinematographer here, a lot of those amazing shots you saw were due to his steady hands, and he was there for a lot of these shoots. So yeah, it's a team effort up here.
It's been a labor of love. And, yeah, it's the story unfolding and everything. It's been great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And obviously, we want to hear, from Justin.
I don't know. Challenge. I feel like every day is a challenge. I don't want to try to sound philosophical all the time, but I think every day is a challenge. So it's just like this was like kind of. It wasn't really a challenge in the sense of like it just was just getting it done. Just a matter of that, but I enjoyed every bit of it. So it was never a time where I'm like even if I had to drive hours on end because we all did it. And these guys carrying heavy camera equipment around and. Doing things that's just like amazing, you know what I mean? Going up elevators, like freight elevators with a whole bunch of paintings, and man, it just took a lot of coordination. And I believe like even these art shows that I do, they're just like I'm gonna have an art show, then I gotta go find the venue and get this stuff. It's not like it's like this people that put it out there and then we just show up. It's like literally everybody they coordinate where to find a location. I'll find, you know what I mean? So it's just been crazy, but it's been fun. So yeah.
I just gotta say, speaking of challenges, when Justin was saying in the one scene, like he goes day night, he's not kidding. Like that's literally what he does. And I think he came into our studio to paint the one painting, and we thought like, okay, like he'll finish up, like at night or so, and then like just go home. He was there all night. And then the next day, and then that night, and we were just all taking shifts. Like, all right, you're in, Steve. Wow. You're up on the time lapse. Let's go. So we were just trying to keep up with him, man.
So I'm going to ask the audience if anybody has any questions for anybody up here. Yes, please.
That's a good question. I do believe in some aspects it was I mean just the fact that like this film, I feel like everybody can kind of relate in a way, because like you see these these scenes and it's like, oh, George Floyd and the election and things like that. It's like everybody can kind of relate beyond on so many levels between the art and so I do think that as crazy as it is, like 2020 was actually a pretty good year for me in a sense, but it took a lot of years of not knowing what's going to happen the next day and anything, and people saying you tripping, go to work or something like that, and I'm like, no, I gotta finish this painting. Like I was willing to do all of that, so I kind of had a lot of struggling years in a sense, and so like the irony was just like I guess it prepared me for that lockdown in a sense. I'm like, I was already working on the I Once Was Blind painting for 4 months before the pandemic even happened. So by the time they were shutting everything down, the only thing that really got me disappointed is because I wanted to have an art show, and that got postponed. We didn't know when we was going to have it. So, but other than that, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna paint something else, and everything we here today. So it's been crazy.
Great.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Any other questions?
What made you decide to work with these particular filmmakers? Is it just that they approached you first, or was it something that like really struck you with them?
It's an interesting story with that, because some people might have believed like, that knew my story before them, that like I should wait and kind of, I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you guys, but it was like I should probably try to wait a little bit more, whatever. But when I talked to Ashwin and after the first day of filming, and even me seeing their work, like some of their clips from some of the stuff they did before, I was like, I don't know, something about these guys that I really like and I believe in. down to earth. It don't seem like it's, I don't know, it just seemed natural. So I was like, these guys could be the next Jordan Peele or the next whoever, and they need like something, you know what I mean? So let's try to do it. Not saying that's going to get to the, but I
Get Out painting, by the way.
say it again.
The Get Out painting, I really loved it.
I appreciate you. But yeah, thank you. So that's what it is. These guys just, man, I wouldn't turn it back and exchange it for anything. So yeah. Yes. So when I poke it out like this, pause. So it's pretty much like a signature to say like I'm here, like I guess when I was younger, I used to, or anywhere, I used to just see people taking pictures of. They might go on a trip and just take a picture of a building that they like, and then it's like how, you're not there, you're not in the picture, so you just got this whole catalog of pictures you just taken. And I don't know, like you showing it to somebody, they're like, I can see that on Google or something. So I'll put my hand in to say like I'm there, like it's like me actually being in these places and not just taking a picture randomly and saying I'm there. So that's just my own little thing, a little signature, I guess.
Very unique. We had another question. Yes.
First of all, sorry about the Phillies. Come on. But great film, unbelievable work, Justin. The question was, and I know both John and Ashman for a while, your process is so interesting, like, and like, you seem like you have a process. Did filming ever, like, impact in any way, whether positive, negatively, or not even your process, even, like, being with your aunt, like, did you ever feel like the cameras were impacting, like, what you were doing in, again, positive or negative way? But it seems like such a personal process, so I'm just interested in knowing that.
It is a personal process, but it's interesting just throughout my journey as an artist. I've like painted in like a nightclub with the bass shaking the canvas and like girls topless dancing around. I don't know if that's too much information, but I'm just saying it's a lot of distractions. But unfortunately, it wasn't. But and just all these crazy things. I'm in a park. Man, just all over. I kind of felt like I prepared myself. Like I just wanted to always be ready for whatever. So by the time I guess this happened, I didn't even necessarily acknowledge it like it was going to be a distraction. I kind of just let it be in the background. And yeah, like I kind of got froze. My bad. There was another thing I wanted to say, but I got lost my train of thought.
I feel like there's also an aspect to, and you can like tell me I'm wrong, Justin, but I feel like you were already at this high level, and then like once we started filming you, the paintings just got better and better, and like bigger and bigger, and like, I mean, did you feel like you kind of went to another level once we started? I mean, it worked out for us in the film, but like,
That's
you feel
exactly.
like you kicked to another gear because you were on camera and you had to really just show up.
That's what I believe I wanted to say is that I do feel like the filming, it was almost like this is like your shot at like kind of just getting everything out there. You know what I mean? Like these guys are filming, and why not just kind of go all in and go all out in a sense? You know what I mean? So I remember when Shaq asked me, he mentioned, he was like, let me see a catalog of yours. And at the time, I was doing a lot of commissions for a lot of people, and I might have did like a couple paintings on my own, and but when it's time to show a body of work to somebody like Shaq, it was like, I got this Biggie painting, I got this, and it was like it was a very limited amount of things I had. Everything else was commissions. Everybody had everything. So that's like kind of when I made a decision to kind of like buckle down on like coming up with my own ideas and learning to say I can't do it to people that ask me, because it's like one person you think you turning them down, it's like, it's a lot of people asking, can I draw their mom? So it's like, I can't draw everyone. And if I do 99, that 100 person is going to be upset. So I think that also gave me motivation to go extra hard at just doing this nonstop. So, and I definitely believe the cameras definitely escalated that process. So thank you.
Nice. Good to know.
Thank you, Justin, and to amazing filmmakers. I just want to give them one last round of applause. Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
for
y'all.
coming
Thank
out
y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
Can I ask one more question? It's
sure.
very technical.
Of course.
What camera did you use?
Oh, we were. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we were using Red Scarlet, and then we had 1DX Mark IIs and C300. Yeah, we were shooting on multiple different things depending on the shoot day that we were on.
And Black Magic.
Yeah, my Black Magic made it in there as well. Yep, GoPro, a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think somebody else had a
Thank you for
question.
coming.